do, folks. How you doing? Just a quick one, and it may just be a quick one, but you never know. You know what I'm like. It may bounce. But what I'm going to do is give an update on this King's Bench. Really disappointing, and it is really disappointing. You would think people would have come forward. Now, some people have come forward, but not in any numbers that could achieve a damn thing, which is really sad, because there must be people out there, and I do kind of get it. People are afraid, people are intimidated by tyranny. It's not an easy thing to stand up to tyranny, and I don't believe you have to be a certain type of man or woman to do it. I believe you just have to be motivated enough, or in the right place in the headspace to do it. But whatever is the reason, not enough people have come forward to us be able to go down there and affect any change, or affect any form of reason for them to stand in honour, to stop doing what they're doing. So the sad fact of it is, it's off. It's just off, and we're not just dropping it and walking away. We've got some great minds on where we go from here, because you see, the problem is, and it's an absolute issue here, there is zero solidarity with the people. This we the people isn't. It's we the various groups of people who are sticking to our own little thing, and we've got some dealing with debts, some dealing with council taxes, some dealing with this, that and the other, and everybody's a little fragmented. Well, not a little fragmented, absolutely totally fragmented. And this is how they control. It's divide and conquer. They've divided us, they keep us divided, they have us at each other's throat, they have us hating each other, not trusting each other, and it's really easy for them to do. They don't even have to put a great deal of effort into this shit. We just can't trust each other. There's so many shills out there. There's so many people who just don't care about anything but their little group, and don't want to step outside that, don't want to let anybody's influence from outside that affect it. Again, through trust, the divide and conquer's got everybody scuppered. Now, me and a couple of good friends have been talking about what to do about this, because clearly getting down King's Bench and forcing them to hear us isn't going to happen, because we just can't get the numbers. And it always comes down to numbers. Always comes down to numbers. A small voice doesn't get heard in the sea of tyranny. It just does not. It's the old adage of, what can one man do, said 7 billion men and women. Absolute ridiculousness, but here's where we are. So we figure the first step, and we've got some great ideas about what it'll take and what needs to be done, but without the numbers, you're just flailing, and it just would not happen. Nothing can succeed without the numbers. So I've got a proposal. Will you marry? I've got a proposal to the people out there, group leaders, the heavy hitters in this game. Let's get round a table and chat some shit. Let's throw the ball about. Let's pass a little chit chat between each other, and try and wangle out or hash out some way of dealing with what's coming. Because I know to some people debts are important, and we've got some great people out there that are putting some great stuff out about how to deal with debts, but you've got entire groups concentrating on that. The New World Order's coming and about to smack you up the arse. Now, I feel like there's just me and a handful of people who actually realise this, because everybody else is just giving a shit about the small world issues and the small world things that they want to get done. And I'm not talking about you, the people out there who are dealing with it at the household end. I'm talking about the group leaders. Now, again, it could be through fear, it could be through not knowing what to do, and this is where my proposal is. Let's a good few of us heavy hitters get around a table and discuss how we can bring as a common goal all these people from all of our groups and all the people we know into one place, not as any one guy leading a group, talking about you can still have, everybody can still have the groups and can still be doing exactly what they're doing. As you know yourself, every single member in your group is a member of another group. Well, imagine a group that was run by all of the heavy hitters, or a good chunk of the heavy hitters, and that can actually sit round a table and to discuss things, knowing damn well this divide and conquer is what's screwing us, and absolutely refusing point blank to be divided or conquered. We've got some great ideas, and other people have got some great ideas, and when people with good minds come together, good minds and good knowledge come together with these great ideas and start sharing great ideas and start bouncing that ball backwards and forwards over the table, magic would happen. Magic would happen. Magic isn't happening because we're allowing ourselves to be divided and conquered. Now, lots of people out there, oh no, I'm not going to talk to him, I'm not going to talk. Not about talking to me, I don't give a shit. Talking about all of us getting around a table and all of us joining conversation with all of us. I'm no leader in this, I'm just another voice at the table. So it's just my proposal, and I'm prepared to foot the bill of getting a venue for us to sit down and have a chat and try and hash this out. We need the heavy hitters to come together, because they're the ones that influence the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of truth seekers out there that are in positions where they need help. Why don't we get round that table and find the solution for everybody? And I'm not talking about sovereignty, I'm not talking about this, I'm not talking about that, I'm not talking about the things I do on another level, as I never do, as people will know. I never push my ways on this platform. I just sit there and do what I do. People come to me. But it isn't about that in any way, shape or form. It's not about whoring anybody's ways. It's not about notoriety. It's not about getting your voice heard. It's not about getting more people in your group. It's don't anybody come thinking, oh, I can do that and then I'll get more people. It's not about yourself. It's about we the people. It's about everybody. The new world order is coming in, and the debts issues that people are in, just one little aspect of what's going on. A mate of mine, a good friend of mine, was in court recently bringing a case, a fantastic case, an absolute picture perfect case, and I will say in all honesty, it was the best put together case I have ever seen. It took a couple of years bringing it to this point, to take it in, and evidence COVID never existed. And yes, it was a big thing to kick down the doors of COVID bullshit, but the reality is his court case went ahead, and once it went ahead, the judge came out with a judgment and basically absolutely said point blank that the ministers have no fiduciary duty, no duty of care to the people. Now imagine that fucker. And he's got that in black and white. It's not just words. Black and white. A high court judge saying that the ministers have no fiduciary duty and no duty of care to the people. That is the very, very position they're in. So if this is how far we've got, we really need to get some solidarity, get round that table and find the solutions for everybody, because there's quite a lot of this I'm alright Jack, fuck you, but the reality is nobody's alright Jack, fuck anybody. Nobody. Have you seen the shite that's going on out there and the shit that's coming down the track? It is coming, and I'm telling you, it's coming. Now, I'm a fella who just speaks from the heart. We almost prepped this, me and a friend almost prepped this, as write this out and do a speech to explain to people properly, but I can't do that. And reality is, folks know me as a guy who just speaks from the heart. So here I am from the heart. I don't care who you are, I don't care what issues we've had in the past. If we don't get our heads together, and I'm talking about the heavy hitters, not those playing at it, but the reality is we need the heavy hitters, those with good people, good numbers of people, and the ones who actually care for everybody and not just their little group. We need to get people together. We need to get around a table of heavy hitters. I don't care how many they are. I will rent the venue for however many can come together. But if it's 2 or 3, it just shows you what the fuck's going on here. It's not them, it's us, if that's the case, and it truly is. So you guys that are watching this that aren't the leaders of a group, you can play your bit in this. You can talk to the ones who lead the groups that you've got. Talk to them and ask them if they're going to get in touch, if they're going to get together. And you know, if the answer's no, ask them why. And you know, if they give you some blah blah as to why, start asking yourself why. Because the biggest problem we have is not knowing who's genuine in this game. That's the biggest problem we've got. Now, who wouldn't want to get some solidarity, sit round a table with 0 risk to themselves, the only expense is a bit of fuel getting there, and spend a day sitting round a table bashing some ideas around? Who wouldn't? Why wouldn't they? Like I say, myself and a couple of really good friends have got some fantastic ideas. We'll be at the table. Who else will? And if your group leader won't, start asking yourself why. Because there is something real fucking wonky. Because they know damn well what's coming down the track. They know what is coming down the track. So if they're not prepared to do a damn thing about it, it's time to start asking why. Reality is, are you following or are you just joining? Now, I don't deal with followers. I don't have followers. I have people who are with me, people who respect me and who I respect, people who like to hear what I have to say. It is what it is. There's nobody above anybody in this world. Not one of us is above the other. We are all equal. So people need to drop their fucking egos if they've got it, or just recognise a good idea if they haven't got the ego. But I'm telling you now, the best fucking idea I can come up with is get some real heavy hitters around a table, bouncing that ball backwards and forwards, and come up with some real-time solutions to the real shit that's coming down the road. That's what I've got to say. So anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it at that, and have a good one, eh? Ta-da.